weekend's exclusive presentation of the McDonald's Boys High School All-American Game is presented by McDonald's and in part by Insight and NikeBasketball.com.
And we welcome you back to Cleveland. You get a shot of Jacobs Field on the right, and as we now bring you inside Gund Arena, where it looks like about 17,000 or 18,000 people are here for the McDonald's All-American High School Balls. He's headed down to Maryland.
And you know that Gary Williams likes to see his players start off on the defensive end.
Chris Paul to LeBron James. You don't expect many of those here tonight.
Field goal percentage early for the LeBron James-led team. 66%. 2 dunks, 3 attempts.
But that's one thing these kids are going to learn with help side defense is EB did not had an ACL injury last year about this time, still battling back from it, but a marvelous athlete and just a monster rebounder. It's going to fit in very nicely for Ben Braun's team at Cal.
Leon the Show Poe. That's his nickname.
Here's King James, and he draws the foul. And Jay, in the 2 games that you and I did involving LeBron James this year at St. Vincent St. Mary, early on in the game he was settling for 3-pointers. Then he started going to the rim. It looks like he's made up his mind early tonight to get inside and try to dominate.
Yeah, and that's one thing I think that he did in those 2 games. And in other games this season, he tried to establish his game from the perimeter first. And opposing coaches would often say when he goes inside to post is when they really felt they were in trouble. And with his physical stature and how imposing he is physically, really inside is where he belongs at the start.
Guys, is it...
Villanueva was a subject of a heated recruiting battle. He wound up committing to Illinois, although he has not yet signed. And he is one of those that Tim talked about that could make the jump from high school straight to the NBA. That is still in the forefront of his mind.
Yeah, one of his good buddies, Lamar Odom of the Clippers, same name.
Flashy, and there you see Shannon Brown with the strength that he's got. And he's really going to take Tom Izzo, along with Brandon Cotton, Tom Izzo back to really pressure defense and scoring off of their defense, generating offense. Look at that pass. The no-look to Villanueva, high above the crowd. The transition defense, we won't talk about.
Now James with a little bit of extra flair in his game. He'll add the no-look. We've seen it with the between-the-legs pass on the fast break, the behind-the-back bounce pass to a teammate for a dunk in a league game. He likes to put a little extra mustard on it. And the EB guarding him. We'll try to give you as much info as we can all night, too, about where some of these guys are heading. There's Villanueva, another assist, and he sees a little bit of a...
The reasons people like to play with LeBron, because he gives the ball up, and he does it because it's the right play. The great finish by Villanueva, and then drawing 3 defenders and dishing it off. James has an extraordinary ability to pass the ball.
And as you saw a little bit earlier, he averaged 11 assists per game with St. Vincent St. Mary, the Ohio State champions and the mythical national champions this year, ranked #1 at the end of the season by USA Today. Lots of subs for the West. This is Chris Humphreys, who's headed to Duke, number 34, who just turned it over. And it's the East quickly down the floor, and James led Lang a little bit too far. We're going to show you periodically during the game tonight the leading scores and some of the factual information about all 24 players in this game. We do have 2 injured players, by the way. We'll tell you about them. We expect to see 22 players in total tonight as Von Wafer comes into the game and misses a long jumper. And here's James, likes to handle. And that's going to be a goaltend. Count the basket for James.
Really impressed with the fundamentals. You notice that he's like a running back popping through the hole. He stays really low when he dribbles, and that's one of the reasons he is so good in transition.
As we mentioned off the top of the show, Tim McCormick was with us tonight, was a McDonald's All-American in 1980. Jay Billis off on the bubble and somehow left out in 1982.
A political thing.
But Tim, you played in this game. Now let's let LeBron do his stuff.
Yeah,
hang on. Oh, yes. Good for him.
It was a beautiful play, but we still can't help but be a little bit disappointed.
Does that remind you of some of the plays you guys ran in 1980 in this game? How has it changed since then?
You know, Dan, in 1980, there were no boys or no girls in the game. It was boys only, and it was
schedule, so they play all these guys year round. And LeBron James taking it the other way, putting it off the board for Charlie Villanueva. I think Villanueva is doing the right thing by sticking as close to James as he can. Just picking up those leftovers is going to perhaps make him the MVP of this game, or at least the leading scorer.
James